Today we're going to remove the Brasilia from the chassis, and I've never done this before, so who knows how it's going to go. It's absolutely bucking it down in here, so I'm tucked away in a little den trying to get what we can done despite the horrible weather.
But because there's no airlift management on this thing, I have come up with a little trick up my sleeve to get air in the bag, and this came in the form of a 6mm tire inflation bag.
If you follow us on our socials, you'd have seen we had some toy proxies fitted to our Porsche cookie cutters to get them on the Brasilia. Toyo hooked us up, so now we need to get the wheels on the car, then we can endeavour on the big task of splitting this thing from the actual chassis.
And the tyre of choice was a 195/45/15, which sits lovely on these wheels. You and I are currently sharing the same question: how am I going to pay for this? Well, to try and get some funds, I've started a competition where one lucky winner can win my lifetime collection of Auto Finesse goodies. Only at £9.99 a ticket, you can have a chance to win it all.
You really do have to be in it to win it, so make sure you get your tickets. But anyway, it's now time to get this thing sat on the floor for the first time in probably around 4 or 5 months.
But without moving these wings first. Although they're primed, they do need some rust treatment. Don't be fooled.
With the car back down on the ground, wings off, wheels on, we're now ready to get the engine lift in place under the front to get it picked up. Now I have got a couple of bolts I couldn't get free. I'm hoping that with some weight on the chassis, on the body, it will allow us to undo them bolts freely. Now I'm not sure if this is the right thing to do. I don't know if it's going to twist the body, but end of the day, all you can do is just give it a go and see what happens. I haven't seen anything online which suggests not to do this, and all the videos on YouTube suggest that it's okay to do. But hit me a comment down below, give me some abuse if I'm doing it wrong, and well, I'll just think about what I've messed up, because I would have done it by then.
Now, just your viewing pleasure, here's one idiot and an engine hoist. I don't know what I'm doing with it, and as you can see, I'm clearly struggling. Does it go up? Does it go down? Which bit do I pump? And why do the legs keep moving? But we did get there eventually. As you can see, I stormed off.
This is the current situation. Now, we've made progress because the car's in the air, but it's not going to plan. Got the car jacked up. Now, I knew obviously there was a couple of bolts which are under there, which are spinning, so I can't actually undo them. So back to the drawing board it is.
The drawing board to most is a whiteboard and a whiteboard marker, but not in our case. In our case, it's a grinder with a cutting disc and an idiot operating it. Lots of sparks flying and, well, holes in places where there probably shouldn't be holes. But on the bright side, we now have access to the nuts so we can actually undo the nut and bolts holding the chassis together.
I can't believe the camera wasn't filming, but I was using a recip saw and the vibration pushing down on the bolt actually removed it. So we successfully removed the bolt with the recip, but we used the recip as an impact opposed to a saw. Well, I don't know, but it worked. But we now need to try and see if we can separate the front end of this thing.
I anxiously began to start pumping on the engine hoist to try and lift this thing up in the air. It started to go well, the body started to come off the chassis, but then all of a sudden we came into a little bit of a problem. The chassis started to lift up off the floor with the body. Fearful that I'd forgotten a bolt, I lowered the jack down. But then I noticed that one of the straps wasn't actually completely lined up to the body, and it had snagged on the chassis itself.
So I think I found the issue, and that's catching on the front beam towers on the actual body. So I think that's going to need some gentle persuasion to try and hit that free. Give me strength. I found the culprit. This arm was in the way, sitting on that piece, which wasn't allowing it to drop. But now we're on the deck. I'm a bad YouTuber, but it was all getting a bit too stressful and I just had to crack on with it because I was freaking out because it wasn't going to plan. But this is where we are currently sitting, or hanging if you like. The back is now stabilised on these little stilty things. Engine's out of the car and we're now in the process of getting the front lifted up. And just like that, in a day's work, the Brasilia is now off the body, suspended in the air, ready for the next part of the build. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys, and we'll see you in the next one. Make sure to smash that subscribe button, as it really does help.